Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, my name is Karen. I'm from the United States, and joining me now is Ricardo from Mexico,
Hi, Karen. Good morning.
Jesse from Argentina,
Hi everyone.
Jane from Ukraine,
Hi, everyone.
Ermis from Italy. He's the creator of the new volunteer initiative,
everyone.
Accessible Life, using Google Earth. We are happy to have you join us live on YouTube and Facebook. Please feel free to ask us questions on either YouTube or Facebook. We'll be answering them at the end of this presentation. All of us are local guides and are active contributors to Google Maps. We are active on Local Guides Connect, the official global online Google Local Guides community. We are also volunteer Connect moderators on Connect. Each of us has interests, passions when it comes to adding to Google Maps, in particular, accessibility. Today, Ermis will present how we can start creating in Google Earth by using free My Maps tools for his volunteer initiative called Accessible Life. Ermis, tell us more about you. What is Accessible Life and how contributing to Google Earth plays a significant role in helping out local communities for those who have accessible needs?
Well, thank you for asking, Karen. And well, what is Accessible Life? I can show you. Accessible Life is a project, is a Google Earth project, and is a project that is running inside Google Earth with the contribution of everyone to find accessible places all around the world. And this is not a picture. As you can see, this is a real Earth. And through this program, we will be able to explore the world and go to move country by continents by continents, country by country, to find accessible place around the world. And for example, in Mexico or in our country. Accessible Life is a program that has been designed for every person to contribute, adding accessible place to one common map, let's say, and my responsibility is to add and to share them into Google Earth. So Google Earth is becoming a kind of search engine for accessible areas. And that's
Okay.
good for you, or do you want to know something more?
I would like to see more of the project if you can show us.
Oh, yes, of course I can. Let's say this. Well, inside Accessible Life, we can scroll the world, and of course, let's choose a place right now, and we can go to explore every single place added by a user. And well, why? Let's first of all, this is an accessibility program, so we are focusing in defining and sharing with the people accessible area. Accessible area outdoor means elements that are not covered by Google Maps because are not building, are not specific business, but that can be explored and that need to have a lot of information inside. How can we do that? We can use Google Earth as a search engine to go narrow and narrow and narrow to reach the single place where we want to go. And then we can explore the place. It is very important for a person with limited mobility. That can be a disabled, but can be also a family with kids. The possibility to know where a place, how a place is before to move, to go to the place. So we can explore the place, and then we can go to see more and more detail. We use Google My Maps. That is another wonderful tool to explore the place and to see how the place is, our description, and all the accessibility information. Let me make it bigger, just for you to see. All the accessibility information about a single area. And where is the parking? If we have public transportation, if the parking have accessible area for disabled, if inside the single places that we are going to visit, there are accessibility features. How the place is, because we want to see before to move. Well, there is much more to say, but let's say that for a quick view, right now, oh, look at this, for example, where you can go through a wooden path to explore the natural area. There are a lot of wooden paths like this all around the world, and they are not defined as accessible right now, but they are, even if the institution of the park, of the community that manage this place is not defining them as accessible. They are accessible, we know that. And if you want, we can share all this place and add all this place in Google Map, in Google Earth, for a person that is looking for a place where to go, to be able to find an accessible area. I'm scaring you. Well, no, it's the first time that everyone will see these kind of places. I mean, and I know it's a great experience, and I can spend hours to talk about this, but I know that there are other questions, so I'm trying to really be very, very, very short, very quick. So we can build, every user, you, Karen, me, the people that is watching us, can do this, and they can use this kind of tools and share the tools with me to add the place here in Accessible Life. So this is available.
Karen, we didn't hear you. Your micro is off.
And I suppose Karen wants to say something. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
Ermis, could you define what accessible means? I mean, I know it's wheelchairs, but could accessible also mean parents like myself with a stroller?
Yes, of course. Accessible means that everyone that have some limitation in mobility can reach that place. So not necessarily a disabled. We know, and in our symbol and everywhere we show a wheelchair, just because a wheelchair is an extreme case. But we know that more people have difficulty in accessing places just because maybe they can see family with kids, with small kids. That's why this project, in the meantime, is important for accessibility, but it is important also for tourism. Because if you are exactly like you, a mom or a family with small kids, you want to know where to go. And you want to know that before to move. You want to know what you can find in a place before to go there and to discover if the place is accessible or not. So we need to do that. And well, this is for everyone. Accessibility for everyone. And my concept of accessible life is that everyone can have a normal life. This was the main concept for me. Having a normal life means be able to enjoy the nature, in this case, because this is focused on places that are not in Google Maps, to have the possibility to enjoy the nature free, without any obstacle. And this is not only for disabled. Accessibility and disability have two different meanings that are strongly related together. I mean, because disability is the first signal of the possibility not to access some place, but accessible life is a life that is accessible for everyone. A lot of olders.
Great.
We are becoming, in all the Western country, we are becoming older right now. The length of the life is extended, and we have much more elder people than before. And they have the right to be able to move, to be able to explore.
That's great.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. There was a question from Lalo that said, when did you start to think about this project, and how do you think it will look like in a year?
Yes. And thank you, Lalo, for asking this, because this is one very, very important question for me. And well, I started on 2017, and I started in that moment because I was working on a completely different project. I was working on the earthquake, on the bad earthquake that in 2016 destroyed a big part of my country, and we wanted to move from the north of Italy to help them in several ways. We built a different project, and well, when we started to move there, we discovered a place that is on the top of the hill, of the mountain, and is completely accessible. And on the meantime, I will prepare the place to you because I want to show that place to you. And in that, my first thought was, oh my God, my mom can be able to go to that place. And well, together with Progetto Recycle, that is the association I'm working with, we started to think about to create accessible places. It was 2017. And the accessible places that we were showing there were, we used my maps because we didn't have these tools, Google Earth, available right in that moment. But we started to talk about path, nature, and the first name of the place, of the project, was From Path to Path, di sentiero in sentiero in Italiano. That means the possibility to move from nature to nature in an accessible way. After that, we started to pay attention. My mom is disabled, and the mom of my wife is disabled. And we started to pay more attention to how an accessible place needs to be, an accessible nature. And then we started to think that everyone has the right to enjoy the accessible nature. And that's why we wanted to start to talk about accessible life, because all the life of every person should be accessible. And so, well, we moved to this place, and let me go quickly there. And you may have seen, if you follow me, if you have seen my post, you may have seen this picture a lot of time. Okay, and this picture is one picture of an accessible path in the middle of the Sibillini Mountains in the center of Italy. Later, I will share, when we finish the presentation, I will share publicly the link to the accessible life in Google Earth, so everyone will be able to join and to explore the places by themselves. But at the moment, okay, this is the story. Right now, we have, let's say, 15 places shared around the world. Some of them is work in process. Some of them is done completely. We have places mostly in Italy and, I don't know why, in Mexico. And well, after that, I think that right now what we need to do is to add more plays. And well, my vision and my hope and my dream is that we will have 100, if not thousands of places added in accessible life in Google Earth before the end of the year. So I don't know if this is enough to respond to the question. Hope so.
Yeah, I think that that is very interesting because every person that involves in accessibility projects always has a reason to that, and it's very interesting how every one of us will be related to this situation. So I think that this project that you have imagined is like a thing that remembers the situation that originated that you think about it. So it's a very interesting project. And when I first heard of this from you, well, I had a previous situation when I was very close to a relative that need to use a wheelchair. So I started to think that provide more information about accessibility. It's very, very important. Even when in Mexico, it's not an issue that is widely spread, or not everybody can think about these kind of things. But that's why your project looked very interesting to me.
Thank you very much, Ricardo. And yes, it is. It is because, I don't know how to say, but when I started to think about this, there is one piece of story that was missing before. We realized that we needed a better tool. And after Connect Live 2018, Google Earth invited some of us just to explore this tool that we have now. And I said, oh my God, this is the tool that I want to use, is Google Earth. I created my first project, and my first project was completely different from this one. It was very, very simple. I had just a few places to add, and I put it all there. I made a video to make some presentation, and I was featured by Google Earth, by the way, with this project. And then I started to understand that if I want to add thousands of places, I needed more power, I needed more tools. And so I reached in October Google Earth Outreach, and I was able to talk directly with Google Earth developer. And well, what they told me is that I was proceeding in the right way. They show me how to have the possibility to create more and more and more places. And so I said, okay, this is the tool that I want. And I started to develop the rules. When I started to develop the rules, I realized, talking with people that is disabled, that my idea of disability and accessibility was very personal, and that all the information that I was adding were very emotional, but on the other side, not really useful. And so I canceled everything, and I restarted from scratch for the third or fourth time to rebuild place. This is the reason why there are not too many places right now inside there. But I had to rebuild every single place just to be able to give the rules. And right now, I'm very happy because we have a structure, and all the places that are actually added in there are following the correct structure. And well, this is very, very, very important for me, because I think that a user that is using these tools need to find everything defined in the same way. So not according to the feeling of the person that built the map, but according to a structure. And so I arrived to the final project just at the beginning of this year. And well, I decided that it was the right time to start. It took 4 years, more or less, of work. And then I started to work on the night, every night to do that. And well, I know that many people, and I saw that popping in. Somebody wants to know how this is related to accessibility in Google Maps. And it is, but it is not. I mean, I had a couple of interesting conversations with the creators of accessibility in Google Maps, believe me. And well, what we realize is that Google Maps is designed for places, for inside business. Why? Because it is very difficult, very easy to define if a restaurant is accessible, if a restroom inside a restaurant is accessible, even if a mall is accessible, if they have the lift there, if they have everything needed for accessible. But it is very, very difficult to explain if a natural area is accessible. Why? Because a natural area is big with different elements inside. And I'm thinking for the one that was so lucky to visit Muir Woods in California, that for me, Muir Woods is accessible. There is a long wooden path completely ready to be accessible. You can rent a wheelchair. There is a wheelchair with the large wheels ready for you. And you have a lot of these parking places for disabled. But on the other side, you will not be able to visit all the park because one part of the park is in the mountain. You have to climb. You have to pass to narrow passage. And yes, I know Jesse is smiling because we went there together. And so is Muir Woods accessible? What do you think, Jesse?
Yes, in some parts.
Exactly. In some part, it is, not all. So I need to explain to the person that wants to go there that yes, he can go and visit the most iconic part of the place, but of course, he will not be able to climb, he will not be able to see anything. But the accessible part is so wonderful. You have the ramp to access the restaurant. You have water fountains all around the path, and you can stop and fill your bottle with fresh water. You can have food. You can have a rest. You can sit down and just watch the tree, but you cannot climb the mountain. So you need to know that. That's the difficult, and that's the reason why I wanted to start Accessible Life that is not in competition with accessibility in Google Maps. Is just another aspect of accessibility that is not inside Google Maps. In Google Maps, we can talk about building, we can talk about internal, inside structure, we can add, and we have to add our ramps, our information about accessibility. But with Google Maps, we are not covering all the world. So that's why I was started to think and I created this program. The program in this stage can evolve and can be changed, and with the suggestion of every one of you. But in this moment, it is good enough for me to say that, okay, it is time for me to show this to the public, go out of my room and go to talk to the world.
Yeah, I understood that when I heard about your project, that is focused on exterior places that has accessibility features that not are not always described in Google Maps. So
Yes,
as you say, buildings has these features, so we can evaluate if a point of interest has ramps or has toilets. Designed for disabled persons, and everything. But when we talk about exterior places, not necessarily is that information available. And this project could map or include in the global map of Google Earth places with uh, accessibility features that people could visit, and they are not always aware about that. No? So that was what I find very interesting about your project. And when I first heard about that, I thought Mexico should appear in this project because even when this culture of accessibility is not so widespread, we also have some places with this kind of features. And places like this are around the world, and we just need to put the finger in those places and add those places to this project.
yes, exactly.
Maybe
So I'm here for you.
we could see Ricardo's place. I know he added one in Mexico. We could see it again, maybe.
Mm.
Or he could talk about it more.
Okay, yes, of course we can see Ricardo plays, and let's go. Okay, this is the Bicentenario Park, and want to go in Google My Maps?
I was very interested in include this place because it's a very special place. This park is located in an area that previously was an oil refinery. It was a place that generated a lot of pollution to the city, and this area have a rescue process, and all the earth was treated to be clean, and it was converted in a public park that has free access, and it's a very young park. It has around 8 years, and as a new project, it has a lot of accessibility features. It has paved paths that are very easy to use for disabled people, people who use wheelchairs, or even for families with small kids that need to strollers. I think that's the word to go along all the parks. So in this place, we can have a lot of paths that will be go. You can go around. It has a lake that has amazing views. It has another kind of activities like temporal expositions that could be enjoyed for all kind of people, even the ones who has limited mobility. So it's a very interesting place that that marks a change in the way that the government of the city sees the community. So I thought that it was a great idea to include this kind of place in your project. But even when this could look like a very big place, we can find places with accessibility features in the less expected places. So thinking about that, I just remember that like 3 years ago, when I was visiting a touristic place, I found a beach that has accessibility features. And this kind of place could sound kind of strange, but you can find accessibility features also in a beach. And that's it's very important to know because sometimes we could think about people with limited mobility couldn't make all kind of activities. So that's why I included that place as a second project for to be considered. Maybe you can show a little bit of the second one we are missing.
Let me go just a few seconds on the beach. Okay, so let me move back to Mexico so that the people can start to keep confidence with this kind of program, and then go to Chileno Bay, I suppose, is the beach that you want to show us.
Yeah, that's right. It's a beautiful beach, a small one, but beautiful. And it has very interesting features because it has a specific slot in the parking area. Maybe if you go to the My Maps project, you can watch a little bit of it. And it has obviously free parking. It has spaces in this parking lot for wheelchair visitors, and it has a wooden path that is very useful for moving with the wheelchair to reach the beach. And when you are right there on the beach, you can find special spaces or special area for people with wheelchair to enjoy the beach, enjoy the weather, watch all the people that spend the day right there. So it's a place that could provide with joy to all people, and you can
let me
visit
just go
with total
inside.
confidence.
Let me just go inside, okay, to see which kind of information you were adding to the map. So yeah, so we can say it's a small beach. It's 250-meter long, so really small, with accessibility feature for wheelchair. And okay, there is no space to buy food, but there are information and lifesaver stations, so it's safe. The place is safe, and well, the beach is amazing. I mean, and we can see from your picture what kind of information can we see for accessibility. It's small. It's a public beach. It can take 2 to 3 hours for the whole day, because you can go there and sunbathing and enjoy the nature, enjoy the sun. And there is a public transportation, even if the bus are not accessible. There are parking places for wheelchair, and the beach is equipped for wheelchair. What does it mean, equipped for wheelchair? Ricardo, you are on mute, and please.
Sorry. Well, the Gooden path follows right to the beach, and in the beach there is Gooden areas, so the visitors with wheelchairs will rest right there. It's
So you doing all this.
Yeah, that's a Gooden path. It is around 160 meters, and then you reach those spaces to the right where visitors with wheelchairs will stay right there and enjoy the beach.
Okay.
Ricardo, I've got a question, because you know how I feel about being as a parent. Looking at it as I think in the street view mode. Have there been actually parents with strollers, or people who are on not just wheelchairs but walkers? Maybe people who are blind, maybe they're using walking sticks. Have you thought about maybe adding that also in terms of your description to make sure that not only wheelchairs, because again, I feel accessibility is for everyone who needs it, in your description?
Well, I have not included that kind of information because when I visited that beach, I wasn't aware about this kind of issues. I just remember this kind of characteristics, the wooden path, and it's very visual that people with limited mobility could enjoy of this kind of features. But maybe there is another kind of features for other kind of accessibility situations that I can't remember right now. And well, that beach is very far from me right now, so I can't go now to include. But in this project that Hermes created, you can update the information if you go and have another visit to that place. You can go to that link, Hermes. We can
This
watch
is what
right
I'm
there.
waiting you for
Yeah.
asking today, because this is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
Okay.
now.
Okay, I think that I registered something wrong, but
Okay.
maybe in a while I can send you the right link to the image of Street View, and
Yes,
after that
please.
I could update this kind of link. Okay.
Yes, please. And well, this is a very interesting thing what you are saying right now, because you are saying that you can update the link. What does it mean? It means for me that the map is yours. This map that you made is your own map. It's integrated inside the project. And this is something that I want to clearly explain, and we will talk later longer about this, but that every contributor create his own maps. And then what I do is to integrate the maps inside the project. At the moment, we can try to go in detail here, and fortunately, this is the beautiful part of Google Earth, is that we can explore the place in any case. And let me see if I can get the information by myself. Yes, I have it. Boom. Here we are. If we want to explore the accessible place, Google Maps gave us a lot of info. it doesn't work very well right now because probably I have too many things open. But you can go to explore the place in Street View and see all the point here. And this is not because of me. This is the beauty of the integration between Google Maps and Google Earth.
Oh,
And well,
maybe Jay, you can rotate and you
yes,
just a little bit.
and you
Okay.
can move in here.
Oh, this is a previous image from so many years ago, but I
Yeah.
have sent you the link in the chat, so you can open the right link. Meanwhile, I'm going to update in the project.
Okay, let me start the chat because I was disabling everything here to not to
Yeah.
have the chat popping
Well,
up. Don't worry.
I
can you add in? Oh, no. I got it.
you can go to the project,
Yeah.
Hermes,
Here we
and
are.
please, okay, and please make click in the section of accessibility features, then
Yeah.
where it says Chilenovich, and I have included right there the right link. I have had a mistake because in the section where you review previously, the link was wrong, but in the second section,
Don't worry. This is the amazing thing, and we can see this live. Okay. So
yeah.
we can reload.
Go to where it says Chilenovich in
Yeah.
and that no, the first one, and
Okay.
it should that's the right one, and you
And
can
we can
rotate the
we can go
picture.
live. And well, guys,
But
thank you very
those
much. This
right
is
there is where the Gooden path finishes. Right from the parking lot, and right there are the spaces for wheelchair visitors. Right on the beach, they are specific, are reserved for those for them, and they can from here enjoy the beach.
yeah. So we have to thank Juan Matsumila for this because he did a great picture and he was able to share the picture with everyone else. And well, guys, this is the beauty of going live. I mean, it can happen that we miss something, but in the meantime, everything is coming in the right way. So thank you very much for this beautiful beach.
It looks like also from now seeing the pictures that there are actual people walking on it. So not only are people who are who wheelchair or mobility issues, but people are actually using it just to not get their walk in the sand.
Yeah.
It looks like right there.
It's useful for everybody.
Yeah, it looks like it's useful for everyone. I mean, I can see easily if you have kids and you want to bring a wagon or something to move your children across instead of going through the sand, you could do that. Or you're older and you don't want to necessarily walk on the sand, you can walk on that to get you closer to the beach. So there's a lot to think about when it comes to accessibility. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a wheelchair, but it looks like everyone can access closer to the beach.
I think that there is a question from Sylvie.
Yeah,
maybe.
Hermes, I was going to ask this question. So Sylvie asked, and I don't speak Spanish, so I'm going to translate it. It says, a lot of people don't know about Google Earth or My Maps. So what can I do for these maps to get to those people so that I can let people know how they can get access to, or how to get access to Google Earth or My Maps to actually do this? Okay.
Wow. Thank you for asking. And I suppose this is a question from Sylvie. Is it? Am I right?
Yes, it's from Sylvie.
Yes, I want to give a special thanks to Sylvie for this. And wow, this is part of the story of the project, and this is the reason why it took so long time to go live. Because, well, we want to give accessibility to everyone, and on the other side, we want to give to everyone the capacity to contribute to an accessibility project. What does it mean? It means that, well, guys, if you want to contribute to an accessibility project, you need to follow some rules that have been defined by us. What I mean, if you check, and you will have time to do it when I will share the maps just after when we finish this, you will see that for every place we want to follow a standard structure. So it means that you need to know how to build a place. Well, we built a document that will be shared with everyone who wants to contribute, just to know how to contribute in Accessible Life. We made a guide where we explain what an accessible life is. And well, this is the beautiful part of being live, is that I'm not sharing with you anything. Okay. So welcome to Accessible Life. We made this contribution guide for everyone, so everyone can use the guide. They don't need to invent anything. Your creativity is in add the information in the place, but your creativity have to follow one structure, and the structure is this one. We explain what is the project. We explain how to use the project. We can find, as you see, accessible places because we add the accessible place first on the map. How to add? Okay, don't check on my picture. That is a bad one. And well, you can add accessible places with your mobile, adding a simple structure. We explain which kind of visual information, which kind of structure we need to have, and so on. I don't need to go in detail for this, but I will be happy whenever you want to have a meetup about that. But somebody say, well, I never used Google My Maps. How can I do it? No problem. We provide you another guide. I spent really a lot of time in doing this, guys. We can provide another guide where we explain step by step what is Google My Maps, how to build the Google My Maps, all the tools that we have available, how to create the map, like the map that has been created by Ricardo and shared with us. So if you never use the program, this is not a problem. Absolutely, this is not is not an issue. What you need to know to do is just to contact me. Well, how to contact me? No. First of all, let me move one more step. To make sure that you add the right contribution in the right place, we also created a contribution checklist where you can take note of the place, you can see the name, the size, and how to reach the place, if there is a bus transportation or not. And you can use that list. You can download a file. We will provide a link for that. And every time you need, you can make a copy of that file. There is a car parking area. Yes, it is. And as we want to contribute visually, did you take the photo? Oops. Yes, I did it. And this about how to move in the place. And this about all the essential services. We need to think about a person with limited mobility. It can be a mom with a family, with the kids, or a family with kids too. And they know that after 2 hours, they need a rest because the kids needs to have a rest, need to move, need food. Can we find food in the place? There is a restaurant. There is a place for a rest. Well, it's not necessary to have a place with a restaurant inside. What is important is to know if there is a restaurant or not. So everybody have the capacity and the possibility to choose if, with their mobility, they can be able to reach the place, or if they want to go to see something else, something different. So we made a contribution checklist. Now, how can you contact us if you want to contribute? Well, this is the easiest things to do, because once you have the link, well, in every main page, there is one link that you can use to contact Accessible Life. And you can just click in there and you will have your form, and you can add the data and submit the form. And submitting the form, you will contact us. And we will give you all the documentation, we will give you all the information that are needed to create the accessible place. Okay, so I suppose, I hope I have answered about this question. I don't know if somebody have some more.
Oh, please, thank you very much for answering. I have some question. I have some places which are interested to add in to a project. Could you explain how difficult to create it? Please share live to our to us how to create these places on my maps.
So you don't believe my tools, and well, okay. Let's go quickly live, and then we have a surprise for you. But well, yes, creating a place is very, very simple. Okay, you just need to go to google.com maps. The link is accessible even from Google Maps, and you can just search on Google My Maps, or you have the link on the first page of here on my manual. I provided the link also to the map. Okay, so let me share with you. In the guide, you will find the link, and with with the link, you will go to this page of my maps, and you just need to click on create a new map. Well, all the tools are explained in my guide. Some of them is very easy to use. So Jane, let's say that I want to create your own place now. Where do you want me to go?
Okay, let's go to Kiev.
Yes, where to Kiev? Do you have a place? Okay. Let's make a search.
Okay.
Oh, wrong typing. Sorry. Oh, we have Mariinsky Park, we have Park Kyoto, we have Park of Eternal Glory, Square of Kiev Intellectuals. I choose for you Park Kyoto.
Park Kyoto.
Okay, so let's say that I select a place where I want to add my maps, and I click on add a map. Boom. Okay, and magically here, now I have my first place. And let's say that I want to call this layer Park Kyoto, just for uniformity. And here I will add the description of what the park, sorry, I had the place, and this is the place in Google Maps. This is the first place already added. Let me zoom on it, because I'm curious. I want to see this park. I want to see how big the park is. Okay, wow, that's huge. So one of the information that one person needs to know if they have limited mobility is how big the place is, how long it takes to visit the place. Okay, so let's try to add a shape. Just imagine this place, and to define the size of the place quickly, because we don't have all the day. Okay, and we call this okay. We add our description. We save it. Oh, is 14.9 hectares.
Oh,
that's a big park.
big park.
Okay, this is a big park, and you have 2.27 kilometers of diameters. it means that more or less is 1 kilometer long. So one person in wheelchair will need to know exactly how big it is and if it is accessible. Well, let's say that we want to check. And of course, if you want to add your place in here, for sure you will have your photo. Okay.
Nice.
Now, if you, right now, we have other function. We can also use Google search to find for photo. But well, guys, one of the rules that I want to put inside this project is that you can only add content if you have the permission to add the content. I don't want everyone to add everything. I want only original content. So let's say that we search from our photo. And okay, let's say that the park have a bench. Okay. So yes, definitely the park have a bench, and then can add the bench on my project. It takes a little bit to add. Okay, it's here. And so now I start to add my information in the area. And step by step, I can add more information about what I suggest to people to see. And after that, I can add layer. What is a layer? A layer is like a folder in our computer. In Google My Maps, we want to have everything organized. So we want to have one layer, the first one with all the accessibility information. And then we want to have the second layer with all the detail to the services. If there is a bar, there is a restaurant. And then we want to have a third layer with all the details. We are not going to build a complete place like right now here.
Sure.
But I will be happy to do it with you in one meetup. We will can make a separate meetup. Right now, we are presenting the functionality of the project. By the way, we have one extra possibility right now, and is why not to ask to a contributor how he did, how he works to make his accessible place. Yes.
Oh, good idea. Good idea.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and well, this is a little bit a surprise. I mean, because we have an unexpected guest, and the guest, he's one person that already created an accessible place, and it was a total surprise for me because I didn't ask it. I just wrote a post, and he created the place and wrote to me and connect and say, hey, I have this to share with you. And it was so beautiful. I sent the guide, and in a few hours, he was able to refix the structure of the park and to make everything in line with the accessible life rules. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Lalo Padilla.
Hi, Hermes. Hi, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome, Lalo.
Thank you, Hermes. I was really able to make my map without your guide. First ask Hermes for his guide so you can complete all the standardized elements that you could have in your map. And I don't know if you could share my map. Yeah, there it is. And
this is the place.
Yeah, that's it. Here it's in Metepec, really near from Mexico City.
Yeah, and we can go inside your map.
That's right. And
yes, of course, it is everything online, and
too many
it takes time, but
Lalo,
no?
did you find the map Hermes's guide very easy to use?
Yeah, I actually create my map without the guide.
Oh, you don't even need Hermes then.
Yeah, so I created it and sent it to Hermes when it was almost finished. But yeah, it's really easy. I then checked his guide, and it really explains everything, every detail, so nobody has problems with creating a map. And well, I don't know if you can go to
yes, we can see your map right now.
Sorry?
We can see the map right now.
Yeah, can you go to the, I don't know, to the lake or some places that you
Oh,
want?
yeah. Okay. let me go to the lake. We have a lot of places here.
It's the third one.
Okay, yeah.
And
Here it
well,
is.
there you can see the description of the place, and also I added some 360 photos. I don't know if you want to visit it. What?
Yeah.
What? Some problems? I don't know. Well, I did that 360 photos with my camera all around the lake. You can move all the lake, and well, there are also other areas in the map, like playgrounds for children, this accessible road that I created with the shape function or the tool, and well, you can move around every place that is in the map. I don't know, the bike way, or what other places do you want to see?
You tell me where, and I go.
I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah, it's the same.
Okay.
Well, this is really
the tree of the life. This is because I love the name, and because it reminds me to the Universal Exhibition in Milan, where we had also a tree of the life. And
yeah. Well, this is Metepec is known in Mexico for the handicraft. That is this one made out of clay, and this is the tree of life. It's the original one. It's from Adam and Eve, but there are a lot of themes that you can create them. This is one of the history of Mexico, so it's really interesting to see them. And well, this is a museum where it has a sphere and some projectors over them, and it shows the changes over the climate change in the world.
And we can see the ramp here.
That's right, all the accessibility features that it has. Right now it's closed due to COVID, so I couldn't enter to take more pictures, but here are some from Google Maps, taking back Google Guides, and you can see the sphere, and it's really worth visiting.
Wow. This
also
is beautiful.
The parking lots with pictures from all the places.
It's a super complete project, Lalo. It has a lot of information about this park, and it's great that you did by your own. Great.
Yeah, it's really important to see the guides from ERMS first, then if you create your map.
So yes, but what I can say honestly is that once I send the guide to you, you did it in a term of a few hours.
Yeah, it's really easy to use. So
I mean, once the project is built, you can modify it very, very easily. And as I said, I will repeat again, the project still be your own project. So if tomorrow you go to the place and they add new features, or you have new photo, you can update the project. You don't need even to tell me, because the link doesn't change. The link that I send to your My Maps is always the same, and you just need to modify the project, add the new photo, improve it, and well, that's fine.
So thank you, Hermes.
You want to say something, guys, to Lalo?
Great. It seemed great, yeah, and I can't believe he did it on his own and so fast.
Great job, Lalo.
Thank you, Jane.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually see after Lalo just doing it by yourself. If you find something that you want to do in your community or in your park or anything, even very small. I mean, your project is very big, but even something very small that is impactful in your life, it's easy to do, and you can help others in your community to put that up on the map.
Well, guys, it looks like Lalo is very popular, and I see in Facebook and in YouTube there are a lot of comments. There is a lot of flow of comments that just say hello to Lalo.
Lalo is like a rock star in the Latin community of local guides. And he's a very talented guy, and so I'm not surprised about he could make this project, because besides it's very easy. Lalo it's always on the very relevant topics of the community.
Thank you.
Well,
and it's really important to showcase all these places that have universal design, so it works for everyone, and with your project it's easier. Thank you, Ernest.
You are welcome. Thank you for contributing. I mean, because with contribution like yours, we are having the possibility really to quickly change the aspect of the maps. And more information we are able to add, more people will be reached by this information. And well, I hope this will be something that is increasing time by time, becoming quickly and adding a lot of more info around the world. And I hope that soon I will not be able to operate the maps by myself, and I will have to ask for help and create a team. But well, right now this is beautiful, and let me only add one personal thank you to my association, to Project Recycle, because they pushed a lot to create this kind of adventure, of story. And well, we were very, very excited to be able to announce this. And so I really hope you will come to visit us, because it is important for us to increase accessibility and to have more and more and more people. You know, a lot of people is working about accessibility right now, in Italy too. But one of the big issue that we have is that nobody knows. They make their project, and they are very proud of the project they made. They share the project with a short circle of friends, or they are institution. It happens with institution too. They receive financial fund, they create the accessible place, and when they finish to work, it's done. They are happy, and nobody know. The first place is that place that we reached, that beautiful path in the middle of the mountain. We discovered casually about that. We made a lot of searching internet, in Google, trying to find the story of that place. It's nowhere. Nobody knows. And so we want to create a tool, and we are advertising a lot. And I want to invite all of you to share this, because what we need is to have the people informed about that. Because if nobody knows, well, this is totally useless. We can be very happy. We can pat our shoulder. We can say, Karen, we did a good job. Lalo, you're great. And Jesse, I love you. And Ricardo, wow. And Jane, you will do beautiful places soon. But it will die with us. And what we want is something that will last. I don't want to say forever, but maybe in 1 year, Google will say that, wow, this is so big. So we can put a 20% person, that somebody that wants to work from Google Ideas, to help us. But not because of us. I'm happy of this, of course, but because a lot of people need this kind of information. This is my feeling. And well, I know that we are running from 1 hour, and we still have 19 viewers that still resisting on Facebook and on YouTube, and this is amazing. But I think we are going to the end of this. And if there is some quick question.
Yeah, I do want to ask, how does someone join Accessible Life?
What do you mean?
How can I join Accessible Life? Is there a website or somewhere I can start off?
Yes, you can see the banner here on the bottom. We are on Facebook. You can just need to search for Accessible Light Earth. We are on our website, projectrecycle.org, and there is a page, a section of this website that is specific for Project Recycle. And for the ones that they are following us on Facebook, they are already inside the page. If they are on YouTube, I will share, when we share this video, I will share all the links. And well, you can just search for Accessible Life in Earth and you will find us. And of course, for all the local guides, they can follow us in Local Guide Connect.
So, Ernest, do you see yourself, I mean, with the crowd watching us right now, does everyone think that they would like to have a actual a working session on actually how to actually use the tool with real examples? If that's something that's interesting to you guys, be sure to make sure that you comment either on Facebook or YouTube or Local Guides Connect so that we and Ernest especially will know so that he can set up the next meetup for that.
Yes, of course. Because right now, okay, I was not expecting from this presentation a lot of questions because it is something new. It is something that I believe that also for you guys, you have seen this a few days ago. Mm-hmm. And this is not something that we already know and that we want to use better. I will share the link. And guys, start to play with that, start to navigate, start to explore. And I'm sure you will have questions. You can ask for the question on the Facebook post or in Local Guide Connect if you are a local guide, or in YouTube, just comment into the post. And regarding something that was said from one of my friends, yes, Imperio. Necesitamos un curso, lo vamos a hacer en español y lo vamos a hacer en inglés también. E I hope, spero lo possiamo fare anche in italiano per le guide locali italiane o per chiunque dall'Italia vuole contribuire. So yes, we did it and we will do it. And of course, we have people right now that have already experience of that, like Lalo, like Ricardo, and they can play with that and help you to build accessible places. I believe that Mexico will be covered of accessible places in Accessible Life soon. And I'm waiting for Argentina. I know that tomorrow Farid will talk about this also in another meet. Are you surprised, Jesse? No,
I think it's in Clubhouse.
And so, well, thank you. And well, yes, thank you, Bera Mancini, Marici. And I say, Manuel also. Yes, we do it. We will do it. So, thanks, everyone. Anything else? Some last minute question?
No, I just want to say thank you again, Ernest, because this is a project very interesting that motivates us to contribute to the community. So that's great.
Oh, I want to add just a couple of notes for everyone. And welcome to the party. And we will have for sure a new party soon. Just let me know. I am available to do every things is possible to explain this project better and better and better. So thanks everyone for joining, and let's say, yeah, it's confirming.
Yeah.
Okay, so now thanks a lot, seriously now, and we already passed 1 hour. We are over the time, so I want to say thanks. Goodbye to everyone, and see you soon.
See ya.
And bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.